This is the first video on basic production techniques using Camtasia Studio. So for our project, we're using Camtasia to create a screen capture that will be a brief tour of a Desire to Learn course. So the reason we're doing a screen capture is because screen capture is a really versatile tool that you can use to create media for a variety of situations in your online courses. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Camtasia Studio here. And the other thing to remember is that even though we're specifically looking at Camtasia here, a lot of these concepts and techniques will definitely transfer to other screen capture software and just other media creation software in general. So the first thing we see is this welcome window pops up. It gives us a few different functions we can perform and the option to open some recent projects. I'm going to close this because we can actually get to all those things from within the software here. And I want you to see too that when you open up Camtasia Studio, it actually takes you into the editing software. So this is where you're going to bring in screen captures that you've created and edit them to get them ready to produce and share. So we're not quite there yet. We still need to actually record our screen and create our screen capture. So I'm going to click record the screen here. So Camtasia minimizes. I get this little error. This is just telling me that I'm actually using a different screen capture software to capture Camtasia, and because I have two going at once, a couple keyboard shortcuts won't work for me. So I'm just going to hit OK. You don't have to worry about that. You shouldn't see that error. So the recorder pops up here. I see a couple things. The first thing I see are these green dotted lines. This is showing me the area of the screen that's being recorded. Now the other thing I see is this toolbar here where I have some controls where I can set everything up before I actually record. So let's look at the area that we're recording first. Now we remember that this is one of the best practices things that we talked about, is really paying attention to the area that we're going to be recording. So it's important to make sure that you're not recording an area that's way too large and is going to create a really big video when you don't necessarily need that, but also that you're not capturing an area that's really small and is going to be really hard for your users to sort of see what's going on. So there's a couple different controls down here. The first one is full screen. Now when I click on this, it's going to give me the entire screen. I can see that these dashed lines are all the way to the edge of my screen now. It's going to be capturing my entire desktop. However, if I don't want to do that, if I want to set up a custom area here, I can click on custom, and now I have some preset options. So there are some preset widescreen sizes I can click on and it will give me that size. There are also some preset standard non-widescreen sizes that I can click on and it will give me those. But there's a couple other really handy functions. The first one down here is select area to record. So if I use this, I can just click and drag and choose a specific area. My favorite one though is the lock to application option. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Firefox because that's what we're going to be using here to create our screen captures. We're going to be capturing our Desire to Learn courses in Firefox. So if I go ahead and open up Firefox, now what I can do is if I go to lock to application, it's going to lock onto Firefox, and now however I resize Firefox, you can see that the area I'm capturing is going to follow that. So it's a really nice tool. And now that I'm locked onto here, I can actually go back in and select some of these preset sizes, and it will change my application to that preset size for me. So those are some really handy tools you can use to set up your area in Camtasia. Now as a general rule, I'm probably not going to go any smaller than something like 800 by 450, and I'm not going to go any larger than their preset maximum, which is 1280 by 720. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose 1280 by 720 here in this case, because that's going to give me a good area so that I can actually see everything in my Desire to Learn course. Now the next section over are the recorded inputs, and this is just talking about other inputs on the computer, specifically the webcam and your audio source. Now I'm not going to be using a webcam for this. I'm not recording my face or anything on video, so if I were, I could choose this and I could select the device I wanted, but I have this off right now because I'm not using it. Now the audio input works the same way. I can click the drop down menu here and I can select my audio device. And this is another thing that we talked about, was really paying attention to which devices the computer is recording audio from. Now I have my internal microphone selected here, the built-in microphone on my computer, and that's correct. And I can see that that's getting my audio because this meter is moving here. Now once I have the correct input selected that I want to be recording from, I can look at the meter here and I can choose my recording level. Now this was something we talked about as well, was if I have this all the way up, for example, when I'm talking, I can see that meter's in the red the whole time that I'm speaking. That's going to be way too loud. It'll probably end up being distorted. So I need to turn that down. I want to make sure that when I speak, I'm not going any higher than the orange. So I may need to go even down here depending on how close I am to the microphone to make sure that I kind of generally stay in the green, and in the yellow I may even go up just a tad bit to make sure that's loud enough. But I just want to make sure that I'm not going into the red there when I'm speaking. So then when I'm ready to go, I can hit the record button. Camtasia will count down for me. And now I'm recording. Now I can go through my Desire to Learn course or whatever it is I'm capturing, and I can speak, I can move my mouse around, I can do everything that I need to do. And when I'm finished, I can go down here to my toolbar and click on the recording tab here, and my Camtasia recorder pops back up. I can see how long it's been recording, and I'm going to hit the stop button. Now this is a great step here. This is really important. This is the preview step. So it's giving me the option to view and listen to, as you can hear, my screen capture. So this is great because I can make sure that my audio is working properly, that my video was seeing everything I wanted it to see, and I can check that before I start moving into the editing process. Now if I don't like it, if there's something wrong with it, I can hit delete here and it won't save it. If I hit produce, this is actually going to produce it into a finished product. I'm not ready to do that because I still need to do a little bit of editing maybe, and I definitely need to add captions to this. So I'm going to go to this third option here. If I click save and edit, it will save it for me and then automatically open it up in Camtasia. I don't want to open it up in Camtasia quite yet. I just want to click this down arrow and I'm going to click save as to just save this file. So when I click that, it's going to open up a navigation window. Now this is really important as well because you want to make sure that you remember where you save it. And that seems like a really simple thing, but there are lots of cases where you might just be moving fast and save your video and then you're not sure where it went and you have trouble finding it. So I'm going to save it in this tutorial folder, and I'm just going to save it as test here and click save. And I also think it's really important to have a separate folder for each new project that you work on where you can save all of the media files related to that project. That'll help you keep from having any media files that get lost during the production process. So now that I've saved that, I can go back and I can find it. I'll go ahead and close my Camtasia recorder, and I'm going to minimize my Firefox window. Now this is where I saved it, was in my Camtasia projects folder. And I can open that up and go to tutorial, and now here's my video. I called it test. I can see it's a Camtasia recorder document, so it saves it as a Camtasia recorder document, which is a .camrec, and that just means that when I double click on this, it can only open it up in Camtasia because that's the software I use to record it. So that's how you use Camtasia to record your screen and capture your media. And in the next video, we're going to be looking at how to edit and actually add captions and produce and share that media.